Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Certainly. In Java, you can use the HTTP URL connection class to establish a connection to a URL and interact with web resources. This is particularly useful for testing API endpoints, fetching data, or sending requests to a server. Below is a comprehensive tutorial on how to use HTTP URL connection, along with an example. Hashtag tutorial on Java URL connection. Hashtag overview of HTTP URL connection. HTTP URL connection is part of the java.net package and is used to send HTTP requests and receive responses from a server. It supports various HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete, etc. Hashtag steps to use HTTP URL connection. 1. Create a URL object. This object represents the URL you want to connect to. 2. Open a connection. Use the openconnection method on the URL object to create a connection. 3. Configure the connection, set request methods, get, post, etc., headers, and other properties. 4. Send the request. If sending data, like in a post request, write the data to the output stream. 5. Read the response, retrieve the response code and read the input stream from the connection. 6. Handle exceptions. Use try-catch blocks to manage exceptions that may arise during the connection process. 7. Clean up, close the input and output streams, and disconnect the connection. Hashtag code example. Here is a simple example that demonstrates how to make a GET request to a public API and print the response. Hashtag explanation of the code. 1. URL creation. The URL of the API endpoint is specified. 2. Connection setup. An HTTP URL connection object is created, and the request method is set to GET. 3. Response handling. The response code is checked. If it's 200 OK, the input stream is read. The response is read line by line and stored in a string builder. 4. Output. The response body is printed to the console. 5. Exception handling. Any I/O exception that occurs is caught and printed. 6. Connection cleanup. Finally, the connection is disconnected. Hashtag additional notes. You can modify the request method and add additional headers as needed for different types of requests, example post requests. For post requests, you would set the request method to post, enable output with connection.setDoOutput, true, and write the body to the output stream. Always ensure that you close the buffered reader and disconnect the HTTP URL connection to free resources. This example should provide a solid foundation for working with URL connections in Java. You can expand upon it by handling different types of requests or parsing JSON responses using libraries like Jackson or JSON.